All right, hold on. I got a new one.
Oh, okay, let's hear
To
it.
save this sinking ship of a podcast, we brought in this handsome, strapping young lad, Jack. Thank you so much for joining us today on the podcast, Jack. How was it when the iceberg hit that ship?
It was very cold.
Awesome.
And that
Thank
bitch
you for joining us.
had enough room on that
I was
door
gonna say, are you mad
for
she had
two
enough
of
room?
us. But here I am, reincarnated in the modern day, trying to make a living.
I could see you're
not
still
going
half
near any
frozen.
fucking ships.
Does everybody here feel the same way about the Titanic ending? You know, both could have survived. You know.
Yeah, I think a lot of people feel that way.
I think it was a bad movie. If it was true, it'd be.
I don't think
really
you can
sad.
call it a bad movie.
If it was true,
Like,
it'd be sad.
I'm pretty sure at one point it was like the highest grossing film of all time.
Yes.
Which is quite a record to attain.
Yeah, it
I
was.
was just making a joke that you just shat on.
Good.
completely.
Fuck your
Okay.
jokes. Make better jokes.
This is fun. I've had fun on this podcast.
Yeah, this sounds like a great time. I'm glad that I wanted to be a part of this.
Yeah, me
It's
too.
very exclusive, I can tell. You know, there's just a lot of expectation here.
Yes. We are
We're-
very professional.
I can tell.
You know, one thing that I thought might be fun for us to do on the podcast today.
Are we doing that today?
No.
Oh.
That's going to be a little bit later. Which, if you listen to the last podcast, I told you to put suggestions in for a really fun RPG adventure to throw these two fuckers into. We're going to kind of go adjacent to that, maybe, if this bit gets put in.
Ooh.
Dice, a while ago, you had mentioned that you had created this nice little world that could fit so well into an anime. And we got some big weebs in this room. We got
Yeah.
BWE, that big weeb energy.
Oh.
man.
What we could
You
do,
were
So is that going to be the name of the podcast, Big Weeb Edition?
absolutely. What we could do is write the first episode of your anime.
Oh my god, that's.
Give me the premise.
But I go back and listen to the podcast.
I got no problem going there. I think you both know that by now.
But the show is so serious, and this is a funny cast. It's supposed to be serious.
Dude, every anime that's serious is also funny. Look at Castlevania.
Have you...
And watch Castlevania.
Okay.
Dude, Castlevania is A, really fucking good. I highly recommend
Yeah.
watching it. B, it's super fucking serious. There's gore and fire and hell and demons everywhere.
And
but
boobs.
it's also and
Boobs.
boobies.
Need
But
them titty shots.
But it's also just so sarcastic and like
Yeah.
just dry humor. It's perfect. I love it. They even if you have a serious show, you have to insert comedy at some point to break the tension. Otherwise,
Right.
you're not going to be able to hold that tension.
And you're not going to be able to hold an audience.
I completely agree.
Think about how much we laugh about the 3 episodes of Goku going, ha! On
That
next
wasn't-
week's episode. Ha!
But that wasn't meant to be comedy. Exactly it. That wasn't
Right.
meant to be
You're
comedy.
trying to make something serious and it wasn't meant to be comedy, but we laugh at it. If you don't give people something to laugh at, we're going to laugh at your serious shit.
I mean, I made a very
I feel
serious...
less likely I want to do this. I feel more like why we
about-
should talk about
think-
shaming people is wrong, Jane.
Think about how many times you made scenarios to laugh at my very serious character who was practically humorless.
Oh, that was hilarious, but everybody just enjoyed making fun of each other
Well,
because
that's
we all
also
had
true.
ridiculous characters.
We did, very much
My
so.
dude was Scorpion, who had a cat.
A big cat. He got a big
I mean, if
kitty, yo.
if I'm gonna describe your religion, that we could just talk about that.
Do we want to have a D&D episode?
So for context, I had a 1 through 20, and it was very loosely ruled. I believe in the storytelling aspect more than follow the rules, all the rules, and nothing but the rules. So help me book.
Yep.
And then it was just I allowed anybody who had a side campaign during the main campaign that the characters could be used, and that any items they find could do it. They could bring over.
Guess what they got?
Cap also believes in very loose rules,
But
but
to
doesn't
the
really understand
extreme.
level power.
Balance would be a good word.
Balance, yeah, doesn't understand balance. And by level 5, all of my characters together were able to kill a level 20 gold dragon.
For comparison, I joined this campaign a little bit later. I believe everybody was around level 9, level
That's
9 or
when
10.
the first death happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, my first time was when Sunyo died.
The most boring fucking character
but
I've ever met.
I came into this combat, and I chose a heavy chain trip fighter because we were playing Pathfinder at that point. And I was like, this is gonna be super fun. Like, I've only played Pathfinder 2 or 3 times, and I really took the time to make this character like as optimized as can be.
That wasn't
I'm in
the
here.
first one you did.
I'm in here dealing. No, that was my gunslinger. You're
There you
right.
go. I was like
Alistair.
that.
You're right.
I remember
Alistair.
Alistair
Yeah,
more
I
than
remember-
your Berserker.
I do.
I was
did.
thinking of the Blue-Eyed Demon Jr., the character that came in after Alistair died.
Because Alistair was so serious, and then Blue-Eyed Demon Jr. also became
Yeah.
a bit.
Yeah, oh my god. But I was like, yeah, I'm doing 1d12 each round. I can do multiple attacks. This is great. Jack comes in. He's like, all right, I get to roll 6 attacks. Each one of them gets a plus 12, and it crits on an 18 through 20. And I'm there racking my brain like, what the fuck have I missed? What has happened? I'm so confused. And then everyone's talking about their set pieces activating. I'm like, wow!
That's the day I met Colby. Or Jayne.
Fuck, yeah.
That's the day we met.
I'm so happy you got involved in that. Because I was like, please, Colby, come play D&D with us. You'll have so much fun.
And I remember, so I don't know if it was ever revealed, and I'm gonna spill the beans now if it hasn't been, but me and Chia planned Sunyo's death. Did everybody know that? Okay.
I knew that.
So me and Chia planned Sunyo's death because Chia also felt that character was fucking boring as sin. So we had it for a week planned that he was going to die. Not how he didn't know how he was going to die, but he knew he was going to die that round. And I sent him a message going, "Hey, this is where you go." So he knew to fake his crit fail. And then I remember Jack texting me and going, "Hey, I'm bringing my buddy from Cal over to play D&D. He's really chill and all this shit." And I'm like, this kid is going to come in.
He's not going to be ready for how
He's
we
not
run
going to
D&D.
be ready for how we run D&D for one. He's probably a book dude like Xander. And I'm going to kill somebody right in front of him. Like, just off this character and show him there's no... Because that was me setting precedent that you can die. I was like,
Yeah.
I want somebody to die so I can show you that death is able in this world. But you guys were overpowered by level 5. So it was hard.
There were a couple times we almost died.
Oh, later, yeah. Because I just started saying...
There was one time I did die.
Well,
Quite
yeah.
permanently. I double crit failed a saving throw.
That felt so
And
bad.
I remember you dragging
I-
me into the other room and you're like, dude, listen,
I texted you.
Alistair is super fucking cool. If you want to keep this character, we will find a way to do it. I was like, I crit failed twice on, I think it was Phantasmal Killer because you get 2
Yes.
saving
Yeah,
throws.
that was it.
And it was the old version where I don't know if it killed you on the second time, but I'm
It
pretty
does.
sure it was a death.
If the first time you fail and you fail the second time, it is instant death.
And I crit failed both of the rolls. I was like, dude, I'm done.
Because he
Like,
specifically leveled up in that class to take that spell so he could try to fuck up my bosses. And the first time it was successful was against his own party member when he was possessed.
I think the best part about Alistair was the book.
I love that was the I still to this day that's the best item I've ever created
The gunsmithing book.
in role playing history.
Full circle. Full circle jerk.
maybe half circle jerk.
Half circle jerk.
Blue-Eyed Demon Jr. was cool though, man. He appealed to the other senses, which was wrestling, so I like that part.
He was absolutely busted. Like, everybody was
Yeah.
absolutely busted,
Everybody
but
was
my guy
busted.
was unkillable.
Well, I remember because your guy joined and he was very arrogant, and Jackson was like, "All right, let's spar then." And you were like, "Okay," and you succeeded the trip, and you were like, "Okay, well that's coup de grace." I went and I was like, "Okay, sure."
I was like, this character ain't gonna die.
Yeah.
I succeeded trip, dead.
My third D&D character ever ain't gonna die because right now I'm 1 for 2.
He was strong as fuck though.
Man.
He also had that stupid ring that was part of his set that when he lost 15 health, he gained 1 AC and he had 200 and like some health by the end. So by the time you got him down to 50, his AC was 38 and
So
shit was stupid back then.
Jack is going to explain his character really soon, and I feel like I have to explain something. Everybody
Okay.
got 5 pieces of what was a set. I was big into Diablo at the time, and I was obsessed with set pieces, and I was like, that seems like a cool concept. I'm just going to jack that fucking idea. Jayne was insane. His gun book was insane.
Crift.
Crift
was a badass. Don't
Crift
even
was a
short
mug.
sell it.
Like,
Yeah, don't short sell that shit.
but
He had
Jack's
the big
character
Buster
was
blade.
probably the most refined character I put work into. Because Jack was one of the few people who actually made it 1 through 20 without losing a character.
I know Reek died. Chia obviously lost character. You did.
We had like
Bates-
12.
Bates
Bates
stayed.
made it.
Bates
Bates made
made
it
it.
all the way. Cat made it.
Yeah.
Cat made it all the way.
So I guess it's not as special as you thought. I'm pretty sure Skits had a couple deaths. Or at least one death. I remember...
He was like
Skits got
DLC
close, but
stacked character.
Yeah,
I
Skits
don't
got
even
close.
count that.
But like when Skits came in, I pretty much made him the hero of the story.
Yeah.
Because he was like every hero combined. He was like Sora with a Keyblade, and he had the powers of Goku and shit like that.
I look for a window. There's no window. I make a window.
That, I remember
Roll 20
that.
to make a window.
That
Roll
was-
your cool check to make a window.
Oh,
That's
you're
what it
fucking
was.
cool checks.
The fucking
Oh my
cool
fu-
checks.
Listen, okay, I forgot about that part of the day that I met you because you took me into your kitchen. It was like, all right, man. Who's your
I
favorite?
forgot how the fuck that worked.
Who's your favorite football team? And I'm like,
Yeah.
what? He's like, who's your favorite football team? And I'm like, I mean. Meanwhile, I don't watch football.
No, I was in the same
I
boat.
probably said the Cowboys because it was my mom's favorite team,
Anti.
and my dad's favorite team is Notre Dame, which is not NFL, but whatever. He then asked me for my favorite wrestler. I'm a good little Mennonite boy. I didn't grow up watching fucking wrestling. I didn't know shit. I was like, I mean, I know my cousin watched a lot of wrestling. He had a Stone Cold Steve Austin action figure when he was younger.
That was my mom's favorite.
That dude like drinks milk and crushes beer over his head. I guess that one. There was a third question. I can't remember what it was for the life of me.
Yeah, I couldn't either.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah.
I forgot about the wrestler question. I only remembered the NFL question.
You guys earned cool points along the way.
You
did.
I didn't.
I
I
mean-
stayed at 16. That's
be
what I was
fair-
the whole fucking time. It never changed.
What was your cool?
My cool check was 16.
It had to have gone up at some point because I didn't get closer to 60. I don't think I hit double digits with my cool check.
I mean, maybe it did, but I'm fairly confident in the memory that was stagnant the whole time.
It was the dumbest thing I ever did, but like it became a joke at one point. And I was
Yes.
just-
I don't think it was the dumbest thing you ever did. It was basically,
Wow.
if there's something super cool that's just not attainable by any skill, you roll a cool check.
Yeah.
And that was it. And it was just
I want
like,
to do this backflip off this fucking thing. That's one I remember from one of like the post 20
yeah.
campaigns. I want to do a backflip off of this land, attack, and then like dash to the side. And I was like, that sounds impossible. Roll acrobatics and your cool check.
lo and behold, there was a nat 1 somewhere in that exchange.
Yeah, because I remember you do the backflip really well, but you land and kind of twist your ankle a little bit.
Yeah, that was something like that.
And
yeah.
begins screeching. I remember the word screeching specifically.
I remember I couldn't cast Doom without hearing the Doom song, and I was really salty about it for a while because I was like, this guy is like super dark, broody, serious, and then every time he goes to use the Doom spell, he just starts singing the Doom song, and I couldn't like. Yeah, that. Thank you. I needed reminded because I forgot how it went because it's not burned into my brain. I appreciate it. Yeah, you're great.
Dude, my item made me say, get over here, but I had to use 3 different words.
Yeah,
Every time that meant the same thing.
You had to find a synonym for the phrase like every time, and they had to be different. If you ever repeated yourself,
I remember
you
"Come
would've
Hither,
lost it.
Bitch" was my favorite.
Because you wanted it so bad, and I was like, all right, listen, I'm going to give you this, but there's stipulations, okay? Because man, I really did want to finish that side story I had.
Oh yeah, that was.
The
Crift
fucking-
is still trapped in the 7 rings of hell.
Oh, you shut up. I've tried to save his ass so many times, and we just never...
Cause you want to play at midnight.
I want to play it, period.
Cause we get together. So I wake up at like 6 or 7. Jack wakes up at like 11. We don't get together till like 4. We play League. It's like 8. We get food. We come back. We hang out with Rack. Hey, let's do that campaign. Jack, I've been up for 14 hours. Sure, let me think right now.
I'm not saying that that's your fault. All I'm saying is
If you had
you
Juju
can't
subs.
Yeah. All I'm saying is that I'm always the one trying to make sure that Crift makes it back and is okay, and that's who I was the whole fucking time.
I know you're Chris' best friend.
Yeah, well,
It's known.
it is known.
It's 100% known.
What are some of your favorite dumb things in past RPG campaigns?
Like the Candyman thing.
The Candyman.
You always look
okay.
at me so confused when I say that. It
Well,
makes me
because
so
I think of the
sad.
horror movie immediately, and I'm
That's
like,
fair.
wait.
That's
oh,
fair.
yes. Okay, the Candyman.
No, the
That
time
shit
we
was
took
hella
down
fun.
and then repurposed a drug empire into a new drug,
Drug
empire.
empire.
Yep. That I also put a lot of
lot
thought
of
and time into.
Oh yeah, you got
Everybody-
gold return too.
I
So-
think I did.
Fucking everybody else but Jack. There was like 11 people in this campaign. That was 1-20. It took 2 years to fucking do. But there was 11 people in this campaign. 10 of them maybe told me 3 sentences about what they want. Yeah, I want to sell my stuff here, and I want to make it like this. Cool. Jack brought me floor plans. He brought me the first 5 years quota and what he's expecting to make by year-end profit.
I had like employee names. I had what their jobs were down to a T. I had where they worked. I had
Clubs under construction at all time. And then at the end, when the big payout came in, you didn't need it anyway because they had gold
Yeah,
out
we
the
were.
fucking. They were gone.
That's why it fell off, because eventually it was like, oh yeah, it's gonna be like a leaderboard thing, and whoever's company's doing the best will be at the top, and you got to fight to get the most profit, because that's what you get if you're at the top. But after a while, we had so much money, nobody gave a fucking shit.
Boy, howdy, did gold prices inflate quite quickly when we strolled into town.
Buddy,
Turns-
didn't
Health
they?
potion? Yeah, that's like 3,000 gold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Turns
no,
out-
that never happened. We just were like, oh, you're the shop guy. Yeah, I'll buy a couple of these things. Oh, it's like 30,000 gold. And we're just like,
Here's a 10,000 gold tip.
here's a mill for you. I wipe my ass with that. See you later. You better
Hey.
have your place fixed up next time I come around.
Hey,
There better
and
be
they
some real
always
good
did.
shit. They did.
always did. They
They
always had
absolutely
their
did.
shops
I
fixed.
mean, if somebody drops me $10 million, I'm going to be like, cool, I will give 1 million of this to this and make it nice, and then I'm going to go somewhere else.
I fucking retire right there. Shops closed. Y'all never seen my ass again.
Nah.
Which is, I'm surprised never did happen. Like, we just didn't make a bad investment one time, trusting these shopkeepers. One of them wasn't just like, oh, fuck, no, I'm good, man. I ain't got to work no more. See ya.
It's all
Sweet.
because it's always a matter of it was the shopkeep, so I would never remember them unless for some reason something hilarious happened.
Right.
So it was like, oh, we came back to this town, and then somebody would be like, hey, I left a tip here. Did anything happen? I'd go, yeah,
Sure, yeah.
yeah, that guy. He fucking made more windows.
Yeah, the shop looks immaculate now. There's gold trim and and he's got a magnificent beard jewelry. I don't
You're in the
fucking
middle
know.
of a
What do you
rundown
want?
fucking city, but this shop looks like a cathedral.
Yes, that specifically was the way I remember a few of them described. It was like the rest of the city, this shop, fucking beautiful.
The dollar is the new god of this region.
As far as like memory that sticks out, my favorite one will always be my first time playing role playing games,
Nah, D and RPG.
D and RPGs. It was actually over AOL Messenger,
Ooh.
Right.
which it
Whoa.
was with like the old roll dice mechanic in it and
Yep.
stuff. I was playing with Chia, Xander, and another person who shall remain nameless. But it was my first time ever playing. I played a half orc fighter dude who had a bow because I didn't know what the fuck the fighter meant. Like I was supposed to do hand to hand, so I had a bow. And I met Chia's big bad boss man because he was the D&D dude, and he's standing on top of this like 40-foot.
D and RPG dude.
Yeah, that guy. And he was standing on top of this big 40-foot like construct, and I took aim and I crit and shot the dude mid monologue. And he like recoiled back and disappeared, and that's the day I learned about DM bullshittery because Chia messaged me on the side. It was like, you one-shot my boss, and I had to make up something on the spot. I hate you.
I remember my very first D&D game was Badelin. He ran it for me and I believe Xander or Chia, I can't remember. We had just gotten paid by this guy to deliver a shipment of crates, and we like handed over the cargo. He handed us a sack of gold, and I was like, awesome. I want to punch him and knock him out and steal the package. And that was where I jumped in the story. And he was like, okay, great. Roll an attack. And I was like, oh, yeah, this is awesome. And I rolled an attack. And he's like, good job, you hit. And I'm like, yeah, this is great. He's like, all right. So that was an unarmed strike. It deals 1 damage. You don't knock him out. And he double dashes away from you running. He's now 90 feet ahead of you. What do you do? I'm like, but I knocked him out. He was like, but you didn't. You only dealt 1 damage to him. He has more health than that. And I was like, but I wouldn't have hit him if I didn't think I could knock him out. He's like, welcome to D&RPG, motherfucker.
You know what would have helped you in that situation?
What?
Motherfucking cool check.
Yeah. Or, like a fort save on the guy's part to see if he was knocked unconscious.
It was
One
just-
health
I mean,
does not knock you unconscious.
Yeah,
One health is a
If
finger
you get
prick.
sucker punched in the temple, I don't care how much health you actually have.
It probably
Sneak
wasn't that good of an
attack
attack.
is
You
fair.
probably hit him in like the arm. It was like, So Jack, what's your favorite D&D moment? Ah, damn it! Take 7. So Jack, what's your favorite D&D RPG?
God.
Just say it for me. I fucking suck.
So Jack, what's your favorite DNRPG?
Thank you.
Moment?
So the first, it was like my second day playing. They had, I think you, Chia, Bates, and Captain had been playing for a while. They were like level 3, I think, or something.
Because I started it for Cap, Bates,
Yeah,
and
and they like found my ass in the woods, and I was like, sure, I'll roll with you guys. We have the same goal. Anyway, long story long, we get to the guy who's running the True Woods village, and we find out that he deals drugs, and that's a big deal. So they were like, well, we can't.
It's a big deal?
It's a big deal.
there was a lot of big deals.
Yeah. And, well, they were trying to find a way to get back in there to talk to him because I can't remember why. They needed some relic that was underneath the city that he was guarding, I guess, and he didn't even know about it. And they were like, well, we can't do anything because we already talked to him once and he fucking hates all of us. And I was like, well, I'm the new guy. He don't know me. My charisma's pretty good. I'll go in there and try to see what I can do.
Oh, I love this.
And they were like, all right. So I'll never forget. I was like, walk up to the guards at the front gate and they're like, hey, get the fuck out of here. And I was like, no, you want me here, man. And they're like, oh yeah, why is that? Give me one good reason why I shouldn't kill you. And I was like, because I'm the candy man. And they're like, what? And I was like, bump a Coke? And they were like, oh shit, yeah, go ahead in, dude. They were
Drugs
so I was
gave
like,
you bonuses in my campaign.
yeah, well, the idea was like I was posing as the drug salesman to peddle my wares
drug
to him.
salesman.
Yeah, you know.
Knock, knock, knock. Hello. Would you like to try our new wares?
Yeah, pretty much. That was
One
what it
stone
was.
of this shit, you'll get your whole house clean in less than 5 minutes.
Listen here, we repair vacuums, we sell you windows, and on the side, we also give you a little bit of Coke.
That was pretty much it. So I go to see this guy posing as his somebody who's trying to be his new supplier for profit. Lay all my shit out on the table when I meet him, and he's like, "All right, cool." He's like, "You seem pretty good. Let's test it together." And I was like, "Wait, what?" I was like, "No, listen, I sell the stuff. I don't take. You know, that's bad. It's bad. Bad marketing.
Drugs are bad. I don't take
Drugs are bad. They suck.
Sorry, man, I'm not an orc, but
So the whole party is like on some rooftop or something watching this whole exchange go down, and I'm like, well, I'm here and I gotta sell it, so I guess we're doing one of everything together right now, buddy. So my character and this guy, they go through and they do one of everything, and after a while, Dice is like, okay, well, you've done this many things and you're really feeling weird, so you both are going to start rolling like fortitude saves to see if you OD on whatever you do next. And we made it all the way to the end, and there was like 8 things, nine drugs, something like
man.
that. There was a lot, okay? Let's just put it that way. There was a big variety. I was Candyman.
All the drugs you know of and you can think of right now, they were there.
Yeah.
They were
So
all there.
we get to the last one, and I want to say it was like MDMA. I think I remember that specifically because it was the blue pill. Mm-hmm. And we both take it. And I don't exactly make the fort save. And I'm like, well, I come this far. I guess I should be happy I just made it here. And he's like, hold on, let me roll to see what his is. This guy crit fails his fort save and starts seizing and like foaming at the mouth and dying right there. And I am incapacitated because I am also not dying, but not having a great time and cannot function. So he starts dying right in front of me, and I'm essentially a paraplegic in this chair. I can't function. Everybody sees this, and they're like, oh, shit, that guy's going to die. He's going to be helpless when the guards come in and think that he killed them. And they try to bum rush in to save my ass. And it was just a glorious... It ended up okay. We won, quote unquote. You know, the day was saved thanks to the Powerpuff Girls. But it was a very harrowing situation. That was the first...
very harrowing situation.
Yeah, it was a very harrowing situation. That was the first big moment I had with that campaign. And it was so fun and ridiculous that after that I was just sold. I was like, this was absolutely insane, and I love it.
I promise you've never heard anything like that campaign.
Oh, yeah. It was a trip.
Yeah, fucking for you, definitely.
I think my favorite
Only thing that could have
moment-
made it better if we actually had the drugs to give you.
No,
nah.
You know, unless I'm
Cut to
getting
the next
paid-
bit.
I think my favorite moment overall that didn't end up happening, but it was just so ridiculous and grandiose that I was happy with was we get to the end of the campaign and we're fighting Super Ultra Mega Satan or whatever the hell he was,
Yeah.
the ultimate final boss guy.
Boy,
And
it sounds familiar.
yeah,
Yeah,
it
it
does,
is.
doesn't
Sounds
it?
like something we've played on Salty before.
Yeah, you guys should check that out. I don't
Yep.
think we ever made it to him though,
Yeah.
because we quit that series pretty early.
Yeah, we did.
But we made it to him, and at this point, I had some kind of like cursed sword that was super strong, but every time I killed somebody with it, I had to make like a wisdom save, or it would essentially possess me and make me like numb to giving a shit about anything. So I would just start slaying everybody for XP. It was a Chia weapon, I remember, because he was big into a certain game at that time.
Guess what game?
Guess what game? So
Is
we
it
get
Shadow of War?
no,
Yep.
but
Damn
that's
it.
coming up. Yep,
That's out.
it's it's today.
That
Yeah.
well, that's a couple of days ago. 'Cause this is a Friday, really.
Oh, you're right. What's up, guys? How you doing?
Sir.
Continue.
Remember how we're talking to people and not just
Yeah,
talking
right?
about our crazy D&D fucking
Forgive me.
campaigns?
It's my first time here.
I don't know the rules.
Yeah, I'm just here having a good time. Anyways, so we get to the final boss guy, and he's like actually pretty tough. I remember him being maybe I don't know.
I'm not going to
He
say
was
you-
very scripted.
He was very
There was nothing
scripted.
you guys could have did to stop. I had 2 years to plan that final boss fight, and I had him planned on day one.
It was probably a good thing.
That was scripted. There was no bullshit you could pull that I wasn't ready for going into that fight.
Remind me how much health he had. Remind me how much health. I want to say it was 2 million.
Yeah,
At one point, he had 2 million, and then
then
as
he
you
had to
guys
bump it
started
up.
doing deal, like I learned at the Giant Titan fight, I was like, Wheezy called me out on it. He was like, "Are you erasing his health?" And I was like, "Yeah, because you motherfuckers are too strong. I'm bumping it up now because this fight needs to happen good."
Yeah, I remember that happened.
I sold this fight for years. No, this fight's gonna be amazing.
Yeah.
He has infinite health until I say he's dead. That's how that last fight worked.
Yeah, pretty much.
When I said, okay, you guys have done enough and enough of you have almost died, there you go. You get the final blow, Jack. There you go.
Yeah. So that was the big thing is I end up decapitating this thing that's essentially like deity level powerful, but I decapitate it with the cursed sword that's supposed to affect me depending on how powerful the enemy is. So I kill the final boss of the campaign with this sword that's supposed to do that. And then quote unquote God comes to talk to us. And I was like, I know what I want to do here, but I don't think anybody's going to go for it. And they were like, what are you going to go for? Or what are you trying to do? And I tell them exactly what I had just said about the sword. And I was like, so in the middle of the God giving his monologue to us, I'm possessed by the sword. And I literally look at him and say, so you're telling me that you're not perfect and that you're really not much stronger than that guy we just killed. So if I kill you, I can be God. And everybody was just like, what? And I was like, this is so ridiculous. Obviously didn't end up going down that way, but it was as far as
Put your Bibles away, Christians. It didn't go down
yeah,
that
right.
way.
You know, obviously, but like canonical progression, if that rule would have been followed, it could have.
We
and
killed
that was the
Satan.
most ridiculous moment I ever remember having.
What's the most ridiculous moment in a DN RPG that you've had? Tell us down in the comments below, and we'll look at them and be like, that probably happened to us too.
Or tell us about your favorite character.
What are the other two things they should do? Jack, what are the other two things they need to do?
Oh, yeah.
Jack, you're
You should talk about
Jackie Jack.
those things that are really,
Jackie Jack.
really good. I
Jackie
don't know
Jack.
what the fuck. I can't think with this shit going on.
Tell them
Shut
to
up.
like. You gotta tell them to subscribe, man. Tell them to like, and then you tell them to subscribe. Then
Whoop.
you
Yeah.
tell them to like, and then you tell them to subscribe. Then you tell them to like, and then you leave a comment below. Tell them subscribe.